It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Fear the Walking Dead. In this video, I'm gonna make a very bold prediction as far as what I think is the end game for Fear the Walking Dead. Now, I don't know whether that's in Season 8 or Season 9, but this is my bold prediction about how I think Fear the Walking Dead is going to end. And it actually has a lot to do with what we saw with Madison and her story, and the story that was teased with Madison and PADRE. Is Madison being used as a plot device for this end game? Stay tuned, we'll be right back to break it all down. Alright, as always, before we jump into this, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's get right into it. Now, I'm not gonna make this video longer than it needs to be and not waste time on trying to explain myself a lot. It's just my prediction. There's some clues and some hints which I'm not gonna necessarily dive into. I'm just gonna tell you my prediction, and then we can chat more about it in the comments, and if I need to, I'll do a follow-up video later on. So obviously at this point, we know Madison has come back into the main story, and with it, she has brought the PADRE story back into the picture, and seems like the PADRE storyline is gonna be the main story for the next little bit. I mean, at this point, we know that PADRE, much like the CRM, is a large organization that is very secretive. Perhaps not as secretive as CRM, but of course they do have that secrecy, especially when it comes to kidnapping the babies and transporting them to PADRE. Much like what CRM is doing with survivors. Survivors who are either going to be an asset to them, working for them in their organization, or potentially test subjects for their experiments. So there's definitely a lot of similarities between the CRM and PADRE. At this point, we don't necessarily know if there's any connection between PADRE and CRM. I doubt it, but they could potentially add something in later on, if that is in fact what they've been planning all along. But the PADRE storyline never existed when the CRM storyline was being set up. So because of that, I feel like whatever they do with PADRE is going to be separate from what they do with CRM. If there's a connection, it's something that they decided to do now and not something that they had planned all along. But obviously at the end of season 7, episode 16, Morgan and Madison approached a big boat from PADRE. We don't know where PADRE is, but they're going to be heading there. Now, I don't know necessarily whether we're going to see what PADRE is or see inside of it. I think the next little bit of the story is going to be really about the survivors learning about what happened to Madison and Morgan and potentially finding out where PADRE could be, rather than us seeing PADRE right away. Again, similar to what they're doing with CRM on a smaller scale, obviously. But I think when it comes to the PADRE storyline, it might be the setup for the end game of Fear the Walking Dead. I think what we're probably gonna see is a situation where everyone ends up finding PADRE, and then at that time they might do something where someone that we know in the universe is in PADRE, and that person is the key or the link to CRM as well, or something along those lines. Maybe someone like Heath, and this is just an example. I don't actually think Heath is in PADRE. I'm just saying, maybe someone who knows about CRM left CRM or escaped, like Heath, and they found PADRE, or PADRE found them. And by Madison and Morgan going to PADRE, that is the link to the CRM, the indirect link to the CRM. Morgan knows Heath, so maybe that's how everything comes together. Not necessarily Heath, like I said, but you know what I mean. I think this PADRE story could be the start of something much, much bigger that's gonna go above just Fear, and it's gonna involve the whole universe, potentially the CRM, because that would make the most sense. And I think that could be the writer's ticket to end the story or bookend the story for Fear and continue the rest of the story in the movies or one of the spin-offs or something to that effect. But like I said, it's a bold prediction. It doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but it's a possibility. And the other part of it obviously is that even if it doesn't really link up with CRM, it might connect in some way, shape, or form to Commonwealth, which would definitely be interesting, because then in that case, it's a direct connection to things that we might potentially see in the next 8 episodes of The Walking Dead, the final 8 episodes. That's less likely in my opinion, but definitely a possibility. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover in this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.